We met at it's called La Commercial Plaza. It's like 30 minutes away from the Chippy Choppy Mall in the La Flora district. She stayed like 10 minutes away from there. Ended up waiting for her. She ended up coming. We used Google Translate, of course. We went to a bar. I don't remember the name, in the mall, in the Plaza Mall, right? So we're sitting down. We're using Google Translate. She's just telling me a little bit about her. She's complimenting me, of course. Eyes and, you're a genuine guy, nice and everything. Yada, yada, yada. Have a few drinks. Have a little bit more, few drinks. We get up, and she ends up taking me to another bar, and this is where it happened. We get to another bar, and when we sit down, and she orders El Jimador, I think that's what it's called. It's a white liquor. Start drinking, and at some point she told me to kiss her, and I think it was at that point when I did, she may have slipped something in my drink, or she could have had the bartender do it. I know they usually do that too, but at some point that's when it happened. So when I took my second shot, I just didn't feel, I felt funny. She then asked, I asked her, actually, I was like, hey, would you like to go back to my Airbnb? Obviously, you know what was on my mind. And and she was pretty Latina, Afro Latina. She was like, yeah, show me where you live. I showed her where I live and everything, and I got up, and that's when I kind of didn't feel right. But I just chalked that up IP to me being drunk. Got up a little wobbly, she's helping me a little bit. I get in the car, which I thought was an Uber, but from what my friends were telling me, it probably wasn't an Uber. It was probably just somebody she knew, and got in the back of the car, and IP, when I got in the back of the car, at that point, I don't know what happened. I don't know when I fell asleep. I just did. And when I woke up, I was outside my Airbnb on the ground, on the concrete outside my Airbnb, my phone and my wallet gone, which I just got a new phone yesterday, and on Monday I'm working on getting all my credit cards back, but she has maxed my credit cards, which I've taken care of that.
So within the last couple of years, I've noticed that I've been seeing videos of men saying that they are having a hard time finding women in America that are wife material, and they are pretty much traveling abroad to, I guess, find a wife or a woman or whatever there, right? They're just fed up of the, just the European mindset and the feminist mindset and so on and so forth. Those of you who know me, you guys know that I am an immigrant. I was not born and raised in the United States, so I'm an immigrant from the Caribbean. So I have no problem actually with men, especially our brothers, going somewhere else and, find whoever you find, and you fall in love, whatever, I came to the United States and I found a husband, and I am married to a beautiful chocolate man. But lately I have been seeing these videos of our brothers getting drugged, robbed, and sometimes they're getting, murdered, right?
Yo, I want y'all to know, and I'm keeping it a buck, I got drugged yesterday, and it's my fault because I met some chicks from Medellin off of Tinder. So I brought them to my crib, and then I was trying to surprise my boy, and then eventually they drugged us. And guys, they took everything. They took my iPad, they took my MacBook, they took my iPhone 13 Pro, they took my Samsung S20, they took my drone, They pretty much took my credit cards. Like, I got pictures of them, and I'm gonna post it on my channel. Like, Cartagena is dangerous, guys. I've been here for 2 years, almost 2 years, and I've never been in no situation like this. But I want you guys to know, man, like, I post this so y'all can understand this doesn't happen to you. You know what I mean? It could get very dangerous here, guys. Don't trust people here. They will fuck us.
The idea of men or women traveling abroad, traveling overseas to find somebody that is outside of their culture, right? This has been going on for decades and decades. This is nothing new. It just so happened that people put a new spin on it or a new name to it, right? But there has been people who have been traveling from all over the world, going to different countries, you know, meeting people, and you know, sometimes they get married and sometimes they don't, right? So when I was a little girl growing up in Jamaica, I used to see men of all races come there to meet women there, right? And this is something I want to talk about. So the men, the brothers, say that they can't find a woman here in the United States, so they're traveling overseas to find someone, right?
Stay away from them sisters. Get your passports and get out the country. You know why? Because we them passport bros.
The problem with that is this. When you go overseas and you meet these women overseas, you're not marrying them, right? See, when I was growing up back home, right, and I was born and raised in the Caribbean. I was not raised in the United States. I was born and raised in the Caribbean. So when I was growing up there, I can recall as a young girl growing up, there was a lot of men, white men, black men, Chinese men, men of all races who would come down to the Caribbean, and they would find a girlfriend down there, and they would get into a relationship with these girls, right? And they would, you know, spend a couple of weeks with the girls down there, and then they would go back to their respective country where they're from, right? And a lot of them would send money to the girls, you know, to the women, and to, you know, just take care of them. And I used to see this because I used to see, like, the women, you could tell that they have somebody taking care of them because, you know, they start wearing nice clothing, they start wearing nice shoes, and so on and so forth. You know, they get their hair done, so you could tell that something is kind of different, right? And you see them with these men for a short period of time, and then the men would leave. And, you know, some of these women would be staying in nice apartments and so on and so forth, right? So I would see this growing up as a young girl, right? But what I didn't see these women getting married to these men at all. These men were not married, they weren't coming down and marrying these women and bringing them back to wherever they came from. And there used to be a lot of, from what I've seen, men from America. There were black men or white men. There were men from, you know, Britain, the UK. You know, I could tell based on the accent, you know, where they're from. And some of them would be Chinese guys as well, right? And so anyway, these guys would come down and they would have a relationship with these women, but there weren't any marriages, right? There weren't really any marriages happening. So, which leads me to this question, right? If you say that you can't find women here in the U.S., they're not wife material, and you have to leave the U.S. to go and find a wife somewhere else. Why is it that when you go somewhere else, you meet these women, you carry on a relationship with them, but there isn't any marriage happening? You guys are not marrying these women that you're meeting in other country. So that's questionable. What I saw when I was a girl growing up, the men would come, right? and would spend a couple of weeks with the women, and then they would leave, and you wouldn't see them for maybe another year or another couple of years, and they would come again, and then you would see them with the lady again, and they'll spend time, they'll go out, go to the beach, go this party, whatever, right? And then they'll have a good time. She'll get all gifts and stuff, and he'll bring stuff for her and whatever. They'll have a good time, and then he'll leave. And then you wouldn't see him again for a couple of years, right? But I'm about to spill the bean. One of the things that I noticed is that the girls, the women, they also have a boyfriend back home, because when the guy from abroad leaves to go back home, she has a local boyfriend, and a lot of times she would give the local boyfriend some of the stuff that the guy that visit, gives to her, like money, whatever. You'll see her and her boyfriend just going out having fun together. So a lot of these women would have local boyfriend that they're dealing with when the guy from abroad is went back home, to his country, right? But the question here is why a lot of these guys who are leaving the United States to go somewhere else and find women, why aren't you marrying those women? Because I guess the argument here is American women are not fit, feminine, friendly, and cooperative, and so on and so forth.
The big wake-up call was going to Japan. The women there don't have a drop of testosterone in their body. The way that they smile, the way that they talk to you, how high-pitched their voice is. It's like, whoa. And it's just so nice. It's just so soothing and pleasant. Like you order something, and you're like, oh. And you just want to protect them. Just naturally, you feel more like a man because you want to protect and you want to provide for her. You just want to create that nice environment for this beautiful feminine woman. And then you realize there, like, the amount of bullshit that you need to put up with these women in America, how combative they are, and everything in the culture is steering them away from being feminine. It's like no, it's just the Cardi B thing. You need to be the tip-top guy in order to make a woman submit, but women are happy to just do that in Japan.
Why would anybody want to deal with?
Let's see. I'm intelligent. I'm motivated. I have my own business. I maintain my own lifestyle. I'm not understanding the full scope of your question.
Well, see, that's the problem now, ain't it? You just described yourself as a man. See, you got to understand what the men want. And nothing you said in there was anywhere close to being feminine, beautiful, inspirational, caring, loving. The way you're talking almost sounds like a dude. Better go back to your husband. That's all you got. Especially in New York. What part of New York?
Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah. No, it's done. And how tall are you?
I'm 5'4".
How much do you weigh?
180.
Goodbye.
Which may be true, right? So when you do go out of the U.S. and you find the fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative girls, why aren't you guys marrying them? So I'm guessing that a lot of these women in these countries are kind of catching on to the fact that a lot of these guys are not really there to marry them. They're not there to take the relationship serious. You're just there to carry on like a sexual relationship with these girls, and then you leave and you go back home. And a lot of these women, as any woman, whether you're in America, you're in the Caribbean, you're in South America, whatever, most women want a family, wants to get married, wants to settle down and have a family, right? But if you know that there are men just coming there just to play around, right? After a while, you're going to catch on. So I'm thinking perhaps these women are finally catching on to the fact that some of these guys are really not serious about finding a wife, because you can find a wife right here in the United States. So maybe these women are finally catching on that a lot of you guys are not serious about finding a wife. And so now they're just like, hey, let's just get what we can get from these guys, and it is what it is, right? If you know that your intentions are not to get married at all, you gotta let it be known.
This is why men aren't getting married anymore. This is why men are choosing to just go their own way.
I'm never going to get married. I don't want to get married.
Why?
There's no benefit for the man.
The society we're creating right now, more and more men don't want to get married. And I get why. There is almost zero upside for men getting married.
Why men don't want to get married? The main reason is because the divorce laws in the United States are crazy.
Men now don't want to marry anymore because they feel the losses and risk outweigh the benefits.
You have brothers who are going to these islands, right? These South American country, right? And don't speak the language much, don't understand the culture, right? You go there, you think, you see a couple of girls, they're interested or they pretend to be interested in you. You let your guard down, and next thing you know, you're being drugged, right? And a lot of that is going on now. And I have seen it. I've seen white women come to the Caribbean and have gotten themselves killed because they have come there and they found themselves with some Pookie and Ray Ray and gotten themselves killed. We've seen white men who've come down there and had stuff happen to them. You know what I mean? People just go to strange, different countries and let their guard down. And I think they believe that the American privilege, the American privilege does not go a long way when you're in a foreign land and you don't speak the language much, you don't understand the environment, you don't understand the culture. You are going to have to put that privilege away. It doesn't work everywhere you go, okay? It does not work everywhere you go. So brothers, be careful out here. Be careful when you're traveling. Not everybody likes you. That's another thing. Not everybody, you're a black man in general. People smile in your face, but they're smiling to see what they can get from you. Okay. A lot of these South American places, the girls there are not really interested in black men from America. They pretend to be, right? Because they think they can get something from you, but they're really not. They're mostly into the white men, right? They don't mind marrying the white man and, but they're not really interested in black men like that. I will say that, okay?
What's the most attractive thing a guy can do?
Not be black.
So, what? That's not your type?
Yeah.
Really? What's your type?
Not black people.
Just be honest with what you're doing. Just make your intentions clear. If you're going to these places and you're not interested in marriage, just let it be known. You know what I mean? But don't go and women are similar no matter where you go. Let me say that. Women are similar no matter where you go. And you might go to an island or somewhere and you might think, oh, well, these girls are poor and they don't have any sense, right? No. Women are smart. We're smart no matter what language we speak, what environment we come from. We're smart, okay? And Caribbean women are some of the smartest women. These girls in South America, they're very smart, okay? Don't let your guard down around them. They know exactly what they're doing. And what they're doing is they have their boyfriend, they have their brothers, they have their male cousin, they have a couple of guys with them, and they're setting you up, right? And they when they finally get you drugged, now their boyfriend is right outside the door waiting to come inside and harm you, okay? And that's what's happening in a lot of these places that you brothers are going. These girls have their boyfriends, and their boyfriends are the ones that are setting you up, okay? I'm just letting you guys know that. Just letting you guys know that. Be careful out there, brothers, okay? Don't get caught up. And I've also seen where a lot of you guys don't have money. You go, you might have a couple of $100 in your pocket, and you take get on a plane. You go to these places, and then you get stranded down there.
I'm here still in DR. I missed my flight last night. I just got off the phone with Spirit. I'm waiting on them to call me back. It's $100 reschedule fee. Basically, I need a cash app, guys. I need a cash app to try to get this fee together, man. I'm so sick right now. I'm sick as hell. I've been trying to call Kayla because I know she's like in the area. So I was trying to call her to like set something up to where I can get like some actual money because I'm hungry. I have very little bread left. I maybe got like $15.
Stranded. You spend a couple of $100 and now you're broke and you can't find your way home. Right? Can't find your way home. If you don't have enough money, don't go. Don't go.
Barking at me and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, this shit crazy. So I'm trying to get down. Andres told his little brother to leave with his girl. So I walk away. I said, bro, we not going with them? He said, nah, it's late. We're going to let them go home. Red flag. I'm like, damn, we all came together. Why we not leaving together? But he want me to stay with him and his friends. You feel me? Y'all putting that shit together? These niggas trying to kill me, bruh. I'm like, damn, I'm all the way up here. I got all this shit on me. Nigga, they just gonna take it and kill me. So I was like, bruh, I started walking. I was like, man, I'm ready to go. I started walking. Them niggas look like they wanted to do something to me right now, but, despacio. Niggas like, man, we gonna take it slow with this nigga. We don't know what he capable of. I got my knife on me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm ready to break a couple niggas down on my mama. So I get to walking. And then I get to like walking hella fast. Then niggas start doing little whistles. Them niggas start doing little whistles. I was like, fuck, man. Heart started beating hella fast. I'm in Colombia on the top of a mountain. All these niggas got probably straps on them. They off coke, nigga, Chris, nigga. They not finna remember what they want to do, what they did to me or why they did what they did to me. Them niggas like, man, I want that camera. I want that phone. I want everything on that nigga, and then we gonna kill him. And I'm like, there's no way if they get me like surrounded or like barn baited that I'm gonna be able to get out. So I started walking like along the edge of the mountain. But let me tell you, all these people that was following me was sitting still at first. You know what I'm saying? Like they was just chilling. But as I'm walking, shit, niggas looking at me. I'm looking at them, I'm walking, then I'm looking back. I don't see Andres, then I see his friend talking about, hey, come back. Come back. I'm like, nah, I ain't coming back. So I kept walking. And then I came back a little bit, and I was like, where Andres? Nobody said nothing. One nigga came up, tried to touch me, broke him down, got up out of there. Other nigga tried to grab me, I got up out of there, and I jumped off the mountain. When I jumped off the mountain, my leg broke, right? My leg broke. I came back to the street part. Because I seen regular people that didn't look like they was like a gang member or nothing. But I'm asking people to help me because my leg broke. A nigga ride past me with his bitch and was laughing and said, stupido. Another lady walking with her kid basically shaking her head like, muerte. That means death. You feel me? His friend come running after me now, and I'm running away from him on one leg, jumping. And then the nigga grabbed me. When he grabbed me, I fuck up off me, nigga, but I fell because my leg broke. So I clipped my leg back into place so I could kind of like at least lean a little bit of weight on it, but use all the weight on my left leg. And I got to running again, and then my shit snapped again. And then I had to straighten my shit out again. So I was like, fuck, whatever I could do. And I seen the gate, and I knew these niggas couldn't hit this gate. I ran past one nigga. I hit the gate, bop. Went to the other one. That's why I got all these scratches. They had that little barbed wire. I jumped over the first barbed wire, but it was another one. Then I got through the other one. I just ripped it. That's why I got all this shit on me, you know, all this shit like this. And I'm up out of there. And I'm like, damn, what I do? I'm panicking. I start taking off my clothes. I took off my clothes. I threw something this way. I threw something that way. I threw something that way. And I ran a direction to where I didn't throw none of my clothes at. And then I threw another, and then I took off my shoes, threw that shit. The last thing I had was my camera, and I was like, fuck, these niggas want this, they gonna stop and look at this shit. And I said on my camera, but they trying to kill me. That's what I said. And then I threw that motherfucker, and then I ran, and then somehow, bro, I got to this orchard, and it was like a ditch, and it was like, damn, they got all this shit like a booby trap. You feel me? I don't know if it's for animals or people, but it's a booby trap, and it's barbed wire everywhere, so I gotta go through all the barbed wire. I'm climbing up a fucking building. My leg is broke. I'm on the top of a fucking roof, and I get to this house. It don't look like nobody in there. I'll show y'all a picture of that. And I go in the house, and I go get a knife because I see like, damn, this shit in here. And then I was like, damn, is anybody in here? And when I looked in the room, it was somebody asleep. So I turned around hella fast. I was scared that my leg snapped again. Bah! And I fell down. And then he was like, hey. I got up, ran outside. I used one leg and did a doubles jump, and then got on top of the roof and pulled myself up real quick. I don't know how I had all this strength by a lot, bro, but I did it. And I pulled myself up, and I had my hair, and it was hanging. And then I seen a dude coming, and he had a machete. He was like, hey, anybody, like basically anybody here? He was like, oi, oi, oi. You know, Latins, you know, they Latin, so they gonna say something in Spanish. But I was like right over him. Just say if somebody like right over somebody, like I could see him, but he ain't looking up. My hair was hanging. And I was like, fuck, they gonna see me. So I was like, man. And I just started thinking in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I already know what to do. I'm like, this is my energy. This is how I'm gonna save myself. I started cutting off my hair, and I started putting it in a pile. And I was putting it in a pile. And I let it pile up till all my hair was gone. And then I just basically said, God, make me invisible. God, make me strong. God, make me smart. God, send me help. I need help. I'm on top of a fucking roof in Colombia in a barrio. I need help. And then I started throwing my hair in the direction that I was running down the hill in. So when the people came down, they'd see like, oh, his hair right here. So I started, and then I threw them all. And I felt like that was my protection, because from then I spent the night there. It was like 3 stalls. I spent the night in the second stall first, and then I got up and something told me to move to the third stall. But when I stopped, like I said, I just was listening to God, and God was like, just be still, I got you. Be still, I got you. I promise you, by Allah. I was like, be still, I got you. So I was still. Nigga, my mama, nigga. Started thinking about my sister. Started thinking about my granny, daddy, everybody. I'm like, fuck, nigga, I'm in Colombia, nigga, finna get, nigga, you feel me? So I'm like, shit. So I'm like, I'm listening. I'm hearing people looking for me. They got dogs and shit. Niggas talking about where he go. ¿Dónde está, Americano? I hear all that shit. I go to the other stall. Like probably like when the crows started going, and then the people who was announced, they came out and started working. But all day, they never came to that third stall, so I started building a barricade, because I had buried myself under a lot of things, and then put a cover over the things, and then put some wood over that. So all day I'm hearing these people come in and out, do their laundry and everything, and then Andres was talking to somebody who was basically like a neighbor of them, and was asking about me. Was like, hey, have you seen this dude? Some, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I don't know if it was Andres, but the people around the barrio heard about American running away, you know what I'm saying, into the mountains. So, long story short, I'm there, ain't got no water, food, nothing. I'm out there for like 2 days, you feel me? So I'm like, I'm praying the whole time too. Like I got up, I did Fajr. I didn't get to do my rakats, but I sat there and said the Al-Fatiha, and I said, and the second prayer I did was, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Allahu Allah, Sama, Lami, 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 Kola, Kufuanaha, Amin. And then I just waited. I was patient. Like God said, this your test. Like be patient. And I was patient. I didn't do nothing. And then I was getting up back and forth because my leg was broken. I needed to stretch it out, and it was uncomfortable. So every time I felt like nobody was around, I'd get up, stretch a little bit, and I didn't really have no energy to get down this mountain. So I chilled. And for some reason, the people house who I was like hiding behind, they never came to that third star. So I kind of thought that they knew what was going on, and they just didn't want to tell on me. And then the day passing, and then gracias a Dios, Roberto, Jason, that he came and took a piss in that third star. He didn't even see me. I'm the one who moved and made him see me. But I was like, that's an old man, and I had seen him fixing the gate. You know what I'm saying, earlier. So I was like, man, he cool, he'll probably help.